Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie a parachute pheasant tail dry fly. The hook I have in the vise is a 100 BL. This is a size 14. This is a barbless dry fly hook, and it's from Green Caddis Outfitters, greencaddis.com. I'm going to use black thread, and this is 16/0. We're going to start the thread behind the eye, and we're going to come back halfway. And then we're going to go forward half of that. And we're going to come forward half of that. And this is where our wing will be. For our wing, I'm going to use a wood duck flank. You could use a mallard flank feather. I'm going to bring it all together. And we want that wing to be the length of the hook shank. Tie it right in place. And I'm going to come back with it a little bit. And I'm going to trim the excess. I'll go ahead and trim that off at an angle. We're not going to stand the wing up just yet. I'm going to bring that thread back to the tail position. Go ahead and make some nice tight wraps there and get a nice taper on your body. And we're going to stop where the barb would be if there was a barb on this hook. For our tail, I'm going to use another bunch of wood duck flank feathers. You can use mallard once again. We're only going to take about half a dozen of these. And we want that to be about the length of the body from the wing back. So we have that on top. Take our thread and put a wrap underneath. And I'm going to remove the excess. Now I'm going to take an extra fine, I'm going to use a gold wire. You can use copper wire. And this is going to be our rib. Now for the abdomen, I have a nice fresh pheasant tail center, and I'm going to look for the long ones. These are kind of short, and I might be able to do it with that, but I want long ones where I know I'm going to do it and be able to handle that pretty easily. I'm just going to take 3 or 4 of the barbels from that tail feather. I'm going to tie them in by the tip. I'm not going to use the very tip. They're kind of delicate. And depending on what color you want it, you can use different areas of the feather and different areas of the barbels. You can see that there's different colors on these barbels even. We're going to bring this up, and we're going to wrap the pheasant tail. Bring that right up to the wing, and I have to unwrap my thread there a bit. And we're going to secure that abdomen. And we'll remove the excess. I'm going to take my rib and I'm going to counter wrap this, being the opposite direction we wrapped the pheasant tail. and this will secure the pheasant tail. Get it up to the wing, and we're going to tie that off. And I'm going to helicopter this off. I'm going to stand up the wing, put several wraps right in front. Stand up that wing. Now I'm going to take our hackle. I have a furnace hackle, it's mostly ginger. And I have a light grizzly hackle. Going to tie these in together. We're going to start in front of the wing. Let's get that wing out of the way there just a little bit more. Here we go. We're going to come up to the wing, and then we're going to wrap up the wing. And you can see that wing is standing up and much higher or straighter now. And we're going to come up just a little bit and then go back down. It's going to give us a nice sturdy wing post there to wrap our hackles on. Now for thorax, we're going to use some dubbing. I'm going to take a dubbing that's more the color of the pheasant tail. I have some red fox dubbing here I'm going to use for the thorax. It's actually a little bit lighter, but and we're going to wrap the thorax. Put a couple of wraps behind the, kind of give it that little bit of a figure eight. And I have a little bit too much on there. I'm going to just take this off. And I'm going to leave my thread right at the wing post. I'm going to take the hackles, we're going to wrap these. I'm going to wrap them both at the same time, and we're going to come down with it. I'm going to turn it just a little bit so I can see. Just 2 or 3 wraps is plenty. I'm going to tie it off to the wing post. Put a couple on top, and I'll put a couple of wraps underneath. I'm going to remove the excess. Now we're going to whip finish this, and I'm going to use my fingers to whip finish this. I can get it underneath the hackles better with my fingers. Two times is plenty. Now I'm going to take some head cement. And I'm going to put some head cement on the left side of my thread. And then we're going to pull, and the head cement goes right in and tightens right up. Go ahead and trim that off. And here we have a parachute pheasant tail dry fly. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.